Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. Today I want to show you how to make stuffed grape leaves, and I'm gonna use the Egyptian recipe for the filling, except my recipe is gonna have meat in it, and I'm gonna top it up with some lamb chops. Stuffed grape leaves, also called dolma. Dolma, of a Turkish origin, means something stuffed. In Arabic, they call this dish Mahshi, and in Greece, they call it dolmades. But I'm sure there are so many different names for this dish since it's made all over the world in different countries. Since I'm making an Egyptian style dolma, I'm decided to use Egyptian rice. Egyptian rice is a very short grain rice grown in Egypt. It is not cooked the same way as the medium or long grain rice. When cooked, it is supposed to have a fluffy texture, not a sticky one. So we're gonna need a cup and a half of Egyptian rice, or you can use Calrose. First, we need to wash the rice, and I want to show you my Japanese rice washer. It has the holes on the bottom and the holes on the side to drain the rice. We're going to put the rice in there. We're going to wash it very well until the water runs clear. Then we're going to put that washer inside another bowl. We're going to add 1 teaspoon of salt to flavor the rice, and we're going to cover it with water. We're going to let the rice soak for 20 minutes, and then you will see what happens to the rice after that. In about 20 minutes, your rice is gonna soak up all this water and it's gonna start looking milky like that. It means it's ready to be cooked. Let the rice drain and set it aside. And of course, the best leaves to use are the fresh ones. I don't have any, so I'm gonna use the ones from the jar. I'm gonna have a 1 pound jar of grape leaves. So I'm just gonna pop up the lid of this jar successfully, and we're gonna wash the leaves and lay them flat on the paper towel to drain. Then put another paper towel on the first row and then continue drying your grape leaves. And let's look at the grape leaf. Grape leaves are tender and have a light citrusy green and tangy taste. It has 2 sides to it. One side with the veins where we're gonna put the filling, and one side is nice and glossy. While our grape leaves are drying, we're gonna prepare other ingredients. So we're gonna need 2 medium onions, very finely diced. So dice them as small as you can. And we're gonna do a very interesting thing to the onions, because the onions are the ones that also gonna flavor our filling. So we're gonna transfer our diced onions in the bowl, and we're gonna add some spices to it. I've decided to add 1 teaspoon of anise seeds, and the anise seeds I have were brought to me by a friend from Egypt, as well as this alabaster mortar and pestle. So I'm just gonna grind my anise seeds. And yes, anise seeds taste like licorice, but I think they're gonna add a very interesting touch to our dish. So to our onions, we're gonna add anise seeds, 1.5 tablespoon of salt, and 1 teaspoon of black pepper. We're gonna mix it all together. And why am I adding it to the onions? First of all, that technique is gonna help the onions to be distributed evenly throughout the filling. And second of all, it's gonna create a lot of juices that's gonna flavor our filling. Let's see what else we're gonna need. We're gonna need 1.5 pounds of ground beef. I'm gonna use 1 can of diced tomatoes and 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. And in the Egyptian style recipe, the stuffed grape leaves, they use tomatoes. So in order for this tomato paste to be dissolved, I'm just gonna add it directly to these 2 tomatoes and run it through the blender until we get a puree. We also gonna need a juice from 1 lemon, and to get the most juice out of the lemon, it helps to roll it on the table. We also gonna need 1.5 cups of chicken stock, 1 tablespoon of ghee, which is a clarified butter, and 1 tablespoon of olive oil. And to make our dish presentation dramatic, I'm gonna use 1.5 pounds of lamb chops. You could use a raw potato. I'm just gonna lay it on the bottom of the pot. We're gonna season our lamb chops. I have some lamb seasoning, some salt and pepper, and we're gonna season them on both sides. And that is gonna go on the bottom of the pot where we're gonna cook our stuffed grape leaves. And when we reveal our dish, it's gonna look absolutely amazing, you'll see. And of course, we're gonna need some fresh herbs. Now, when the filling is made without the meat, they use more fresh herbs. But today, I'm gonna use a small bunch of dill, a small bunch of parsley, and a small bunch of mint. We're gonna chop our herbs very fine. So first, give them a rough chop like this. You can continue chopping it with 1 knife or 2 knives, but look what I have. I have mezzaluna. Mezzaluna is that rocking knife that allows you to chop your herbs very fine, and it's used a lot in Middle Eastern cooking when they, for example, make a tabbouleh salad where you need to chop the herbs very fine. So take your time to chop in your herbs to a very fine consistency. So it's gonna look like this. Now let's make our filling. To the ground beef, we're gonna add our seasoned onions and the juices that they have created. We're also gonna add our soaked and drained rice, then our tomato puree, all the fresh herbs, and we're gonna mix it together. We don't need to season it since we already seasoned the onions, so just continue mixing it so everything is combined and everything is covered with that tomato puree. To make our rice in the filling taste good, we're gonna add 1 tablespoon of melted ghee. It's gonna flavor our rice and give it a very nice and buttery taste. Now we're ready to stuff our grape leaves. I have a teaspoon here and 1/2 teaspoon because I want to show you 2 different sizes of the dolma that you could use, and I have a knife. The knife, we need to cut the little stem of the grape leaf, and then you're just gonna spread it around so it's all nice and even. And first I want to show you the 1 teaspoon version, where we're gonna use the whole leaf. So we're gonna put the vein side up, and this is probably the easiest way to stuff the grape leaves if you're not very good at it. So do the whole leaf. So we're gonna put 1 teaspoon of filling inside the grape leaf, and then we're gonna start rolling it and kind of fold in the sides and then roll it again. And as you can see, you still have to fold the sides so your little parcel comes out very even like that. So here it is, and then you have to tuck that little tail, and then this is your little parcel that contains 1 tablespoon of filling. Now if your grape leaf is too large, sometimes you get them very big, you can make a 1/2 teaspoon or smaller parcels. So you need to cut the grape leaf in half, and we're gonna put the filling kind of on 30 degrees right there, using just 1/2 teaspoon of filling, and we're gonna start rolling it on the bias like that. So we're just gonna start rolling from this side and still tuck in the ends, and then try to make it into a little parcel, and like that. As you can see, then you get a much smaller stuffed grape leaf. And of course, if you have some help of some people to help you do that, because that process takes a long time. And here you are, they're side by side, 1 teaspoon of filling and a half a teaspoon of filling. And a lot of people prefer the little ones, but I kind of like the large ones. I mean, first of all, they're much easier to make, and you know, the process of rolling them is gonna get so much faster. Now we're gonna put our dish together. In a large pot, I'm gonna add 1 tablespoon of olive oil, and we're gonna lay out our lamb chops. And lay them a certain way, especially if the ones that I'm using, the ones that have bones. You just need to cover the whole entire bottom of this pot. And we're gonna start adding our stuffed grape leaves, our parcels, and they're gonna go around. And the reason it's done, because when you unmold your dish on the plate, it looks like a little mountain of grape leaves, and it's just gonna look much better. So you're gonna do 1 row, and then you're gonna continue doing it. So I have totally of 3 rows of grape leaves, and then you need to find a plate that is smaller in diameter, that 1/2 inch, that's your pot. Pour a 1.5 cups of chicken stock and your lemon juice, and as you can see, this is how much liquid you have there. Then we're gonna cover it with the plate, and we're gonna put it on the stove to boil. We need to evaporate most of this liquid, so we're just gonna place it on high, and as you can see, our liquid is coming on the side. And then when you have practically minimal liquid there, we're gonna cover it with the lid and cook it on low for 30 to 40 minutes. Stuffed grape leaves usually served with some type of yogurt sauce. You could call it tzatziki, but it's not exactly. I want to show you how to make one. So in the mixing bowl, we're going to add about 5 large tablespoons of plain yogurt and 2 tablespoons of sour cream. Then we're going to add a tablespoon of chopped dill, a tablespoon of chopped chives, tablespoon of minced garlic, and a tablespoon of lemon juice. Then we're gonna add salt and pepper to taste. We're gonna take either a spoon or a small whisk like this, just kind of mix it all together, and your sauce is done. To unmold your dish, you're gonna need a large plate, maybe a couple inches, 3 inches larger than the diameter of your pot. Then we're gonna take our pot and remove the plate, and it's hot, so use the glove if possible. And we're gonna kind of poke it, make sure it's all done. And we're gonna put the plate on top of our pot, and this is where I get like really anxiety, because I either gonna drop everything on a table or all over me. So just give me a moment, I'm gonna unmold it. Okay, here we go. Yeah, okay, so lift up the pot, and as you can see, here you go. So we have our beautiful dish on the plate, not on the floor, on the kitchen floor. It's looking absolutely beautiful. So all you need to do, just to fix the sides a little bit so it's evenly in the middle of the plate. And here you go. Look how beautiful this is. We're just gonna decorate it with some wedges of fresh lemon. Then you can put your yogurt sauce in some dipping dishes and include the little spoon that people can spoon it out. And we're gonna put it also on the side of the plate. And here you are. This is your beautiful dish. And as far as the taste, let's taste one. And as you can see, one I cut open so you can see how fluffy the rice is. And look how beautiful this dolma is. Then you're gonna add some yogurt sauce to it, and of course enjoy. And as far as your lamb chops, They are so tender and so beautiful. Look how brown they are. So as you can see, the meat is tender. And of course you can buy dolma in a jar and enjoy it, but look how much fun we had making it ourselves. I hope you liked this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you soon. Bye!